All right, gainers, we have a new question for you today. It is Saturday, and actually the question's for Zach. So stay tuned to find out.
A question for me?
Welcome back, gainers, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic, super episode of ComicGains!
Yeah!
If you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is the Princess Royal Highness, looking very lovely today, just like usual, doing that princess wave, so bow down and respect. Bow down.
All right, guys. So today is Saturday, and I want to thank you all for hanging out with us on this beautiful weekend day. But on Saturday, we posed the age-old question, is it time to buy Zach? And Princess and myself have scoured the internet for a recently trending, recently sold CGC, well, not necessarily CGC, but graded 9.8 books. And we want to get Zach's opinion. We're looking for interesting books that intrigue us. What does Zach think about these books that are selling recently, and what is it a good time to pick these up? So it's a fun way to look at some stuff and get some new ideas of books to look at. And Zach's kind of like the resident expert on graded books. If you guys watch any of our older videos on what's in the box, you can see Zach has a lot of graded comics. So pretty cool stuff if you're going to get a chance to check those out. Mm-hmm. But before we get into any comics, we need to get into something else that'll lighten the mood and enjoy your innards.
And it will make my brain work better. Because brain work better is good, yeah. This is a Starbucks Espresso and Cream. It's premium espresso. I'll be the judge of that. It's a really small can, so...
That's actually a very large can. Zach's hand is just gigantic. Look how big I am.
Alright, let's get into this. Hopefully it doesn't taste like burnt coffee.
Sometimes they do. I'm not a big Starbucks fan, even though we live in Washington.
Okay.
They're everywhere. There's one even like in our house. Like they just moved in everywhere.
Pinky out, guys. All right, let's get into it.
All right, guys. So let's kick off these comic books right away. I think today we have 3 of the 5 comics that we're going over. So starting out first, we have Amazing Spider-Man 365 from 1992. That's that beautiful holographic cover there done by John Romita Sr. and David Michelini. This book's just intriguing to me for a lot of reasons, but you do have a 5-page preview of Spider-Man 2099, which is still, it's kind of crazy that they don't consider this his first appearance because it's 5 pages of it.
Yeah.
I like that Spider-Man 2099 number 1 is his first appearance, but that's a lot of pages not to be a real first appearance. But it's kind of cool that they're both equally expensive in kind of like their own way, which is kind of fun. But this is like a 30th anniversary for Spider-Man, 1962, 1992. So there's a lot of spec going on with this character. Obviously, he showed up at the end of Spider-Verse. They expect him to be a big character in the new Spider-Verse. Probably not as equal to Miles, but Miguel O'Hara is pretty cool character. So there's a lot of stuff going on with this book. I also, with everything around this era that you get 9/8 in, you got like your lethal protectors and stuff like that are kind of similar. This book holds a lot more value, which is crazy to me. I mean, in a 9/8, it garnishes really high value. Obviously, with that holographic cover, you can't press these as easily to get, if you do have spine ticks, they're kind of effed at that point. So if you do have a nice one, hang on to it, get it graded. On a side note, there is a newsstand version of this, which garnishes about double value on that, so keep a lookout for it. But Zach, I don't know, what do you think about this 365? I've always loved this book, personally.
Well, recent sales on eBay, 9.8, is $195, $212. There's 2,331 CTC 9.8, 2,163 are Universal, 160 are Signature Series, 5 are qualified, and 3 are restored. I still don't know. How do
you restore a hologram?
I don't know. Maybe just like find another piece and like connect the pieces. And like, but got a 9.8, so that's something. It's purple. Purple, I guess. There's 7,700 there's 7,705 total graded. So it's about a third of a chance to get a 9.8, about, which is not too bad. Not too bad.
For a 90 book, I think it'd be higher. I would think it'd be higher.
It is a black cover.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a significant character. I mean, he's already been shown briefly in the Edge of Spider-Verse movie. He's going to be in the next one, have a big role in it. So I think if you bought it right now, sell it 3 months before the movie comes out, or buy 2 or 3, sell 2 of them, keep the best one, hopefully newsstand, and probably have those 2 pay for all of those 3. Not the come up guys, right there. I would say buy this book right
Yeah.
now because it was not that long ago selling for about $400. So, I mean, that just tells you it's going to go back up to that point and then some.
It's kind of one of those weird books, like when you find those ones where like you can go out and buy a whole bunch of these between like $20 and $40, even in high grade raw, and you have the opportunity to, you know, get them graded and possibly get a $250 book in a 9.8 for only $20 on the raw. It's pretty crazy. You know, you got to keep an eye out for those. Those are some of the crazy deals. Okay, next up, we're shifting over to some X-Men goodness here. So we got XMen Annual number 14, the biggest controversy of 1990 besides... I don't know what else is controversial in 1990. But you got Art Adams and Chris Claremont did the work on this one. But you have first cameo or first appearance, depending on who you talk to, of the of Gambit. It's a great cover. It's a very busy cover, but it's a good cover altogether.
Yeah, pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things, and you could talk about this till the end of time, depending on, like, obviously 266 was supposed to be printed first. It was accidentally printed second. Just depends on who you talk to. I think 266 is a much cooler book overall, so it should garnish more value just for that, depending on what you want to believe or what you don't want to believe. But cool, you know, cool book overall, great book. I think it has a lot of potential. I mean, obviously that supposed to be Gambit movie that never went off, which had your favorite Channing Tatum? Yeah, playing in that role. He really wanted to do that and wasn't able to take off. And right now, like in Marvel Comics, Gambit's dead. Like, he's actually dead right now. So they have that, like, mini-series with him and Storm that came out. This actually takes place in the past.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, he's actually, like, a dead character. So it's interesting, but I think where the MCU is going, someone to bring in early would be Gambit, because they never really used him properly at Fox. So it's a good thing, I think, to, like, use characters better than another place. You know? Kind of hard to jump into Wolverine. You can't really do Wolverine better than Hugh Jackman. You can. I like to see it happen, but it's hard. It's got to be really hard. But I don't know, Zach. What do you think about X-Men Annual 14?
They should...
don't forget, there's a newsstand version.
They should just bring Channing Tatum in one of the movies and make it seem like he's Gambit, but like he's just Magic Mike reality, like a little crossover. But anyways... Magic Mike? It'd be funny.
Zach loves Magic Mike.
Yeah, triple XL. So, sales range recent... on eBay for 9.8 is $299.99 to $350. There's, I might have wrote this down wrong. There's 6 9.9s. I put 10s, but no, there's 6 9.9s. There's 1,438 CGC 9.8s, 1,199 Universal, 238 are Signature Series, 1 qualified, 0 restored, surprisingly. There's 5,435 total graded, so it's about a little less than a quarter of them, I think.
That's low.
Are 9.8. It's not too bad.
Square bound.
I mean,
it sucks.
If you get about $300 for 9.8, you're gonna make money on it. But always the 266 is gonna probably demand higher value. There might actually be another key other than the Gambit thing in that book, but I can't remember. But I would say go after the 266 other than this. But if you got the cash, I'd probably go after both.
If you love Gambit, you need both of them.
You need both.
You need both.
They pair very well.
That's a must. Yeah.
So it's a buy, but it's a little lower on the list of these books to get. But,
I'm happy to see how expensive it's gotten since we started. I mean, even when we started collecting, it was only a $10 book. Now, now it's closer up to like $70, $100 for a raw copy.
Yeah.
So you get that newsstand.
Depending on the grade.
Look out for that newsstand. All right, guys. Next up on the list, and we're getting into some Princess picks now. These are books Princess wanted to know what Zach thought. We have Suicide Squad #1 from 2011. So this is Adam Glass and Ryan Benjamin. I don't think I've said those two names together before. Of course, the creative team on this book. But this has a little bit of significance to it. It was pretty hot a year ago with the Suicide Squad, the second movie coming out. And it is first team appearance of the Suicide Squad with Harley Quinn, King Shark, and Deadshot. So, not Bloodsport. So, overall, I think the book is an amazing cover. It's a beautiful, beautiful cover. It's really, really cool. And Suicide Squad as a whole, anytime you see a Suicide Squad book, it garnishes a little bit of coolness to it. Because at least I think both the movies were good. The second movie is obviously way, way better than the first movie. But both good movies, both really cool. It's going to be hard to say if this is going to have any meaning going forward because it's just switch out one character and it would have a lot more meaning for the second movie because you got King Shark is still around, Harley's still around, technically Deadshot's still alive. I don't know if we're going to see Will Smith in the next Suicide Squad movie anytime soon. So, I don't know. It's hard to say if it has any meaning without Bloodsport as one of the other characters in the book, but I don't know, Zach, how do you feel about... We don't have that many DC books on our list. Every once in a while it's nice we got a DC book for y'all DC lovers out there. What do you got there, Zach?
Well, for CGC 9.8 on eBay, it sells for $71 to $100 for recent sales. There's only 264 CGC 9.8s. 256 are Universal, and 8 of them are Signature Series. There's only 838 total graded.
It's actually a lot, though.
I mean, I could see this book going up in price a little bit if they did those changes, if they could. Because Harley Quinn is by far one of the best DC characters in the movies right now and in the comic books.
And Peacemaker.
And Peacemaker. As long as you don't watch the Birds of Prey movie, that was a stinker. But, I'm sure there were some good points to it. I'm glad I watched it. But anyways, this book, very low on the list. It's a great cover. You're not going to go wrong if you buy it for $70 or $80. It's. I think if you're a Harley Quinn fan, you should get this book. Mm-hmm. But spec-wise, the money can be spent elsewhere. But for love of comics, if you love Harley, get this book.
Yeah. There's a lot of you DC lovers out there, and if you do, you might love this book. Okay, next up on the list, we got another princess pick. This is actually a very cool book. You have Uncanny X-Men 130 from 1980. You got John Byrne and Chris Claremont, and this is like what they call like a quad key or it's massive key. You have
pretty big.
First appearance of Dazzler, second appearance of Kitty Pryde, second appearance of Emma Frost, first Sebastian Shaw. It is also, I think it's like the second book in the Dark Phoenix saga too. Awesome freaking cover. They do more of those like just solo lady in the middle covers, like it's very similar to that, like the Polaris cover a little bit, where they got like that similar action. But this book is finally starting to get some love. It's starting to show up on a bunch of trending lists, and for a long time was like significantly less expensive than the 129, which it's hard to say. This is a way better cover. The other one has, they're both good. I don't know, they're both really good. This is a much, much better cover, but it's starting to get really expensive, and it might be something to look out for. Out of a lot of the books that are going down in price, X-Men books are some of the ones that are going up in price. And considering we haven't seen Dazzler yet, and she'd make a great character for like a solo TV show, the way Disney Plus is doing like these half-an-hour sitcom, like, I was about to say sitcom comedies, but that's the same thing. But, if they do that, Dazzler would be a really great show for that. There's so many good Dazzler fans, and she has like her own little world. I mean, they gave her own solo title pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're just like, didn't even have anything to do with the rest of the X-Men, just doing her own thing. They're doing Wonder Man. Dazzler could fit nicely right in there, a little Hollywood action together. Maybe they can just even be in the same show together, right?
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
Slip it in, guys.
I don't know. Slip it right in. I don't know, Zach. I know how much you love 130 as much as Princess does.
Yeah. It's a great book. So X-Men 130, recent sales for a 9.8 is $1,525 to $1,895. There's one CGC 9.9. There's 352 CGC 9.8s. Think about that. 318 are Universal, 33 are Signature Series, 0 qualified, 1 restored. There's only 4,082 total graded. So if you think about that,
wow, that's really
it's less than 10%. This is one of those books that, regardless of probably what you're going to do, it's not going to be that the ratio is going to be in the favor of the 9.8 because it's, or how am I saying that? There's going to be not as many 9.8s racially. Or I'm not saying this right either.
I understand what you're saying.
Getting there. Anyways, it's very hard to get in a 9.8. This is a very nice book. It's never going to be as worth as much as a 129. I guarantee you that. But it's not going to be worth much less.
True.
So get on it.
And that's a good pair. That's a good pair to go
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. 129, 130 look really great. 130 has a better cover, like you said. Yeah, I would. This is probably one of the top picks that you probably want to get right now.
Oh, nice, Princess. Nice.
Oh yeah. There's also UK variant of it, so a pence variant. There's only 9.6s. That's the highest grade, and there's only 42 graded. So it's very rare. I'm sure I'm almost positive that eventually the Pence variant is going to become probably more valuable than the standard. I mean, it could. Sometimes things go where it's like, even if it has a less print run, because it's not American, it sells less, but at the same time, I think the Pence might be more special.
It's all based on the want. It's all based on that want. Okay. And last but not least on the list, I had to throw one in here because I saw 9/8 sold recently, and it intrigued me because I know it's one of Zach's favorite books of all time. And you do have we don't have this, unfortunately. This is your Grail right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is Zach's #1 Grail at the moment,
mm-hmm.
and it was Star Wars Clone Wars #1 from 2008. It actually showed Dave Filoni did the cover for this one too, with Henry Gilroy as the. I didn't know he did both covers.
Oh, cool!
But
Smart.
This is a Dark Horse comic, so I haven't had too many Dark Horse comics on our list. But this is first appearance of Ahsoka Tano, and believe it or not, also Captain Rex, which I did not know that it was a double key. So very, very cool. It also has an extremely low print run, 24,000 and under. Obviously, we got Rosario Dawson played this role in. It's in Mandalorian season 2, I believe, was the season 2 where she showed up and killed it. She's like the perfect Ahsoka. So she's getting her own solo show. There's a bunch of news going on with Ezra showing up, which I think is great because Rebels, I'd almost say Rebels is better than Clone Wars, the cartoon. And they're both really, really good. I slightly like Rebels a little bit more. And the way they ended that is perfect to lead into this live action. So they could pick up right where Rebels left off and go right into this Ahsoka TV show, which would be perfect. And this might be one of the only times they pick up this book. So I don't know, Zach. What are the numbers on this sucker?
Well, recent sales for 9.8 is $2,025 to $2,200. Higher than the XMen 130, which is weird. There's 489 CGC 9.8s.
Wow.
462 are universal. 27 of them are signature series. 0 qualified, 0 restored. There's 1,361 total graded. So it's about less than 50. Less than 50. Much less than 50. Anyways, exactly. There's a special variant of it, limited to 1,000. There's only 108 CGC 9.8s. 106 of them are universal. 2 of them are signature series. 0 qualified, 0 restored. Only 291 are graded at all. So that one's very rare, and it commands a very high price. I want one real bad. I'm going to get one. It's going to happen. Yeah, I don't
care how many men, women, and children I need to kill.
This is probably the #2 pick. This is a fantastic book. People have a really big fan base for Star Wars. It's going to continue. Stuff is going to go out. Now, is it a better pickup than the first Dazzler or the 130 or the second appearance of Kitty Pryde and Emma Frost? That's hard to say. It's a brand new book with this much of a price. Kind of hard to say, but I would like to go with the older book that has more of a history, more of a stability. But this is my grade. I already have a 130. I need this book.
Yeah, if there's one bright light shining for Star Wars over the last 10, 15 years, it's definitely Ahsoka.
Not Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. She's definitely everything. Everyone's holding on to this one character since the original saga. She's probably the best thing to come out of anything new.
Yes.
For sure. So, great list. All right. Great list there, guys. So, if you like the list and love hanging out with us, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you always know when new things are going down. Because we got live shows on Wednesday now, and we love the more of you guys show up live and just get to ask questions, shoot. We kind of shoot the goodness. We have a good time hanging out, so you got to get in there with that. Leave us a comment down below. Don't forget, right after this show at 4 o'clock on Whatnot, you get to hang out with me and Zach. Start out ComicGains is doing the first show. We have X-Men night. We have all X-Men books. We got the wall is going to be behind us. We got everything on the wall will be #1 X-Men book. So any purchase over $10 will get you a free book off the wall of your choice.
Nice.
And we do have an XMen Annual 14 going up for sale starting at $1. And if you make it through that, at 6 o'clock is the main event. You have the Princess of Gains show where she runs the whole show solo, does all the talking. She has a full lineup She's doing Spidey Night, Spiderman Night. She's got 316 going up, starting at $1. 315 starting at $1. She did a bunch of Miles Morales keys, everything Spider-Man related, and there's a lot of books that are Lady/Spider-Man combined into one book that is going up as well. So even if you guys don't buy anything, which is totally cool, if you want to come and just hang out and be in there and hit that giveaway button, that's totally cool as well too. Like we love giving away stuff, and if you've been to mine and Zach's show, a lot of things go for $1 or $2. So if you need a couple books for $1, hook it up, because we want to hook you guys up. You're watching this show, you deserve to get hooked up. And Zach, you got anything else to round us out?
Yeah, sure. How you do that is you have to first get a ceramic item, and then you gotta get soil, and then you gotta get a plant, and that's how you become, or that's how you get a potted plant, preferably a Venus flytrap, which I just recently got.
Yeah, you're really excited.
I'm very excited about it. I don't know. I saw him like $7. Take my money.
At the grocery store, you bought a Venus flytrap.
I don't know. I've never owned one. I've seen the big ones where they. I don't know if this is the same type, but exactly. I want to get those. I want to see it eat a couple bugs.
But if you do, we think you can feed it meat too. Can you put some sausage in there?
Oh yeah, bacon? That's how you get them all big.
I think
big
so.
and fat.
I don't know. Let us leave a comment down below on Zach's Venus flytrap.
Yeah,
let us know all the crazy things we can feed it.
What can't you feed it?
All right, guys. Until we see you next time, stay safe and remember,
get those Venus gains.
Get them.